There you go. So as you know, the GoPro Hero 8 just came out, but we're not here to talk about that because I don't even have one. What we are going to talk about in this video is what settings I've been using on the GoPro Hero 7 and how I've been mounting it to achieve the footage that I have been all throughout the year.
Alright, here goes nothing.
Here, the Red Bull lip offers, and I'm like, thank you.
One of the reasons why I really like this setup is it was really easy to manage. You only had one set of batteries to worry about. You didn't have to wear a chest harness or anything, so it was kind of mindless. It made you focus on the riding and less on being a camera person. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the setup and settings I've been using this year. So first off, this is a Fox RPC. Fox, of course, is one of our channel sponsors, so full disclosure. And this particular helmet is one of the easiest helmets to chin mount a GoPro. One of the reasons why is it has a flat surface right here to attach one of the GoPro adapters. And with these big grill holes, you can easily fit a zip tie through. Some of the other helmets I tried this with, it was a lot more difficult. They used like a screen mesh here, so you couldn't really fish a zip tie through that easily without ripping the mesh. So this was a pretty quick setup and it looks pretty clean when I don't have a GoPro mounted. I'll leave a link in the description below to everything I'm talking about in this video. Just as a quick disclaimer, if you do purchase any of those products by using any of the links below, I will earn a small commission on that. So that will go back into supporting this channel and what I do. So just full disclosure. All right, let's jump back to the video. All right, so as far as settings go on the GoPro Hero 7, I have this set to 4K, 30 frames per second in super view. As far as color profile goes, I have this set to GoPro color. Not flat, nothing crazy, and I have auto white balance turned on. Now, the reason why I have it set to GoPro color is because I don't have to do much work to make the footage look the way it does. The only thing that I do have set is the EV compensation set to -1. And even then, sometimes I'll have it set to 0. Especially when I was riding in California, that was really important to have it set at a lower setting because everything was still blown out to begin with.
The only thing that matters.
As far as sound goes, this foam thing is the thing that makes the biggest difference. The audio is very prone to wind noise. By putting one of these foam screens over it, you're cutting down on a lot of that noise. The less wind that hits the whole body of the camera, the better the audio is gonna sound. So here I'm riding with Noga Corum. Like me, she's also a GT sponsored athlete, but she's one of the fastest enduro racers in the world. On her GoPro, she does not have the foam wind slayer covered. So let's compare the audio. And for comparison, here's me following Noga, and this time I have the wind slayer installed on my camera.
Oh, nice.
Now I also have another trick. On the actual cage of the GoPro, I have some Velcro fuzzy stuff to cut down on even more noise. The combination of both of those gives you really good audio for what it is. Alright, as a quick comparison, here's my girlfriend Haley riding with a GoPro Hero 7 and the wind slayer, but she doesn't have the extra fuzzy stuff installed by the microphones. So let's listen to the difference in the audio. And for comparison's sakes, here's me riding with the GoPro Hero 7, the wind slayer, and the extra fuzzy stuff by their microphones to reduce any extra wind noise.
2, 1, racer start.
Whew, that's muddy.
As you can hear, the audio sounds pretty freaking good. Now, it's still not as good as the Hero 4, but 99% of people won't be able to tell the difference unless you're putting a GoPro Hero 4 or Hero 7 side by side. So the way I mounted this is the new J hook, and I have that mounted with the J part facing forwards. Now, something else I do, which I picked up from Jordan Boostmaster, is putting a little mark on my GoPro. So not only did I serrate it, but I actually colored it in. And I did the same thing on this piece. That way, when I put this on, I know it's perfectly lined up every single time I go out to ride. Took a little trial and error to figure out where that was, but once I did, it makes a big difference in just being able to go out and not think about your camera. As far as the sharpness goes, I have the sharpness set to low. I think the overly sharp footage looks artificial and weird. For comparison's sakes, here's one of my buddies, Deacon, who has an awesome YouTube channel, who's following me, and I'm pretty sure he has his GoPro set to high.
Oh my God!
So that's why I prefer the low setting. If I want to add some sharpness, I can do that in post-production, but honestly, I don't. All right, there's one more thing we need to talk about, and that's what I do to the footage once I bring it into my editing suite and start editing the footage. I try to keep my post-production work to a minimum to maximize efficiency. So I don't do a whole lot, but there are a few small tweaks I make. And now I use Final Cut Pro. I think a lot of these adjustments are available in other editing suites, but you'll have to figure that out on your own because I use Final Cut Pro. Anyway, let's jump into it. Okay, so now we're in our editing suite, and here's one of the clips we saw from earlier. And if we take a look over here, you can see we have a little bit of color editing, and we'll take a look at what I did. I think I just added a little bit of saturation. Yeah, I just boosted that saturation about 8%. I added a little bit of a vignette, and then a little bit of vibrancy. And this is the one that makes the most difference. This is a little bit much, so I might actually drop that down to 1.1. And that's essentially it. So if we take a look at what the video looked like beforehand, take all those off. And let's watch that same clip, but now let's turn those effects on. There's one last setting I guess we should talk about, and that's how I export my videos. And so for what it's worth, when I export my videos, actually I usually go for computer, and then I'll take that to the max, and I'll actually hit, and that's the setting I export my videos at. Don't do a whole lot more than that to get these videos looking the way they do. I figured it was time to answer some of those questions I've been getting to help you guys out make better videos. Now, if I didn't answer your question, leave your question in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them as best as I can. As always, my name is Phil Metz. Thanks for playing bikes with me today, and we'll see you guys next time. Boo!